Welcome back, everybody, to the Beyond the Summit stream where we're casting the inaugural. It's the play-in match between Execration and Immunity Dota. The Pinoys up against the Aussies, and right now, Australia leads 1-0, and we've got ourselves a game 2, and to join me for game number 2, none other than Basekip. Pretty exciting stuff, Aussie Dota, man.
I've never felt so emotionally invested in a game in my life. I have to admit, like, as much as these guys are clowns, they are unfortunately the pinnacle of Aussie Dota. So I really want them to do well. So hopefully they can. A pretty convincing game 1, I have to say. You know, some shaky moments here and there, but they still managed to finish it off, and you know, we'll see if they can keep it up in game 2.
Yeah, we'll see. They're going to go straight back into that Marana first pick. Are they getting with a Treant Protector here in game 2? Have you seen them use the Treant much?
I have. They were running Treant quite a bit, I believe, back when it was a big meta pick, like back when the Treant Protector was quite strong and all of that, but I haven't seen them running it a whole lot recently. We've obviously seen EG running it a whole lot and being quite successful with it, so you know, maybe a little bit of inspiration taken there. I'm a little bit surprised to see it picked into the Bat Rider, honestly, because pretty much any Bat gank is not going to be turned around by a living armor, you know, in the same way that a Nyx Assassin gank or something might be. So we'll see how well it does here.
Okay. Well, Execration get the Bat Rider, which for the most part has been banned, and yeah, like you say, we'll see how well it does. And for Execration, second pick coming up their way, probably just look to start grabbing some supports. They get the Shadow Shaman, so one of the more popular supports. It was kind of like this or the Ancient Apparition, I feel, and they decide they want to get with a bit more pushing power, so they get themselves a Shadow Shaman to try and combat what Immunity are doing. I feel like part of the reason Immunity love this Marana is because, like we saw last game, they can run it as a farmer, but they can also run it as a support. You talk about the Godot support, farming support Marana, and they can be very flexible with this pick, even when they pick it up right at the start of a draft.
Yeah, and I think it's probably one of Slicks's top 3 heroes as well. His Marana, his Invoker, and his Queen of Pain are all fantastic. So they've got options.
Very difficult for Execration. Well, at the same time, Execration probably don't know Immunity that well, so it's not like they're probably just thinking, oh, they used Marana farming last game, it may be a farming Marana again. So Immunity definitely have that advantage as far as their opponents not really knowing what they like to do, and Execration, they got to bounce back and bounce back fast, because a loss here will send them packing. This is single elimination play-in match, and winner of this will go into the group stage where there will be a round-robin format, but if you lose this game, you're completely out of the tournament.
This is the last leap for the safety net, effectively.
Yeah. And this is the first time Execration have really been tested, because every game they played in the SEA qualifier was pretty one-sided. They won the finals really easily. That was earlier today. They won their semi-final against Zero Latitude, which was fairly straightforward, and their quarterfinals was against Nara Stacks. I didn't actually see that game, but I assume they won it fairly easily, as they did most of their qualifying matches.
Yeah. So I wonder if this Treant from Immunity Dota is maybe just, again, playing into the we feel experienced, we feel comfortable taking this towards the late game. So I guess the Treant Protector is nice as far as that's concerned, just stalling things out, making sure that Execration have to commit to every single push. But, you know, Shadow Shaman's fine to commit to a push to knock a tower down from full to nothing. So I'm already a little bit worried for this Treant. And it's also eating up a support slot. They could already potentially have both of their supports secured. And that means that they can't really go just yet for one of the easy support responses to the Bat Rider, like your VS or your Disruptor or something along those lines. So we'll see what they do.
Yep. Well, the band's, yeah, pretty much entirely support here is taken out. The Ember Spirit as well. So Immunity say, look, we beat the Ember Spirit once. We just don't want to verse it again. And I think that's a reasonable option. What's that?
Fair call.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No, I just, it's so annoying, and it kind of forces you to drag the game out, because of pushing into the, unless you're dominating the early game, pushing into Ember Spirit is never really possible. So I think that's kind of Immunity's general playstyle. Even if you go back to the Natural 9 days, they were always a team that played towards the late game and looked to just get slowly, incrementally further ahead, and they'll pick up another big late gamer. They used it in game 1. It's going to be the Enigma once again. So generally played by Godot as a kind of 4-position hero.
Yeah, so I guess that means the Marana is definitely going to be a core, and it's happening, gods.
Is this a deny pick, or is this like a just we want void pick?
I I'm not sure. It definitely escalates the total amount of AoE team fight going on in this game. So we might just have another
Yeah.
big wombo combo game on both sides. But
I feel like
yeah, I
this
don't
is
know.
almost a deny pick, because Immunity could easily run the exact same Enigma Void lane, and then they do Treant Mirana safe lane, and then just get some solo mid for Slicks. Or Mirana mid and Treant +1.
Yeah, I worried for Immunity Dota that they might get just pushed down a little bit, and I feel like they're almost breathing a sigh of relief in seeing the Void. They're like, okay, whew, that's a hero that is going to take us at least a little bit towards the mid game. We're not going to be pushed down by a Luna and a Shadow Shaman while the Batrider is looking for pickoffs.
Yeah.
We can probably take this into more mid game territory. So deny pick or not, I think they're maybe okay with seeing it. And again, we talked about the Darkseer last game. I think that could also just be another strong
Yep.
offlane possibility for immunity here. Though that would mean it can be a little bit questionable with the Enigma because if the Darkseer gets forced out of his lane, then there's not really enough space in the jungle for
Man.
both of them. So
This is like
we'll
an
see.
EG draft. Like Immunity remind me so much of EG with their drafts. Like EG love their PPD Treant Protector. They've actually been running quite a bit of Enigma for Zai as well, and Mirana. Well, that's like that's Mason's most played hero over the last month or two. And then well, your Darkseer pretty self-explanatory. So this is an EG draft coming out from the Aussies, I would say.
Well, EG have been on a tear, so
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Apparently they also
too
ran
bad.
they actually ran the offlane void at South by Southwest in one of the games there. That's what someone tweeted at me.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that tweet as well. So offlane void not a completely immunity invention. And
Yeah.
I think somebody else mentioned, yeah, somebody else tweeted at me that Fnatic has used it once
They
before
lost
as
though,
well.
so who
Yeah, tarnishing the win rate
ah
of
yeah.
the offlane void.
Please
What a
Euro
shame.
teams. Well, I guess
Please, Fnatic, stick to your own unique picks.
yeah. Fnatic do enough crazy stuff without the offlane void.
The offlane duo lane Undying Venomancer
Oh
is
my
the one
god.
that always pops into my mind as interesting Fnatic things. But anyway, it's not a Fnatic game. This is Execration versus Immunity, and Execration go for a
Sand
Sand King.
Pretty normal stuff from them as far as the actual apart from the void, I
Yeah,
guess. But void not a crazy hero to have as a carry, but Sand
and they
King.
have
Yeah, go ahead.
their tri lane is terrible at dealing with Darkseer. Like it is just
Yeah.
two
Well,
melee heroes. Shadow Shaman has pretty bad range. I mean, if they land the Shackle or the Burrow Strike, then maybe they have the follow up to be able to bring him
yeah.
down. But the early levels are going to be really painful. And I was just about to say, like, oh, they can probably get away with the greedy supports because Immunity aren't going to go aggro. They've got the Train Protector, they've got the Enigma, so more than likely they're being greedy, and you can kind of get away with it. But if they're going to be really greedy with the Sand King pulling and stacking and jungling, or the Sand King just pretty much straight up jungling and the Shadow Shaman pulling, that's really going to hurt the Void because he's not a hero that can fight the Darkseer
And you
one
can
on
just
one at
plop
all.
the Enigma in the jungle. Enigma jungle's
Yeah.
10 times faster than Sand King does. You level as fast as your solo mids do, and in some cases even faster than your mids, so... and that's something which Godot has done so many times. I remember, like, back in the N9 days, he was always talking about, like, the most efficient ways to jungle the Enigma, and last pick OD, there's your hero for Trent. Solo mid OD.
Okay, so it's going to be safe lane Mirana, OD mid, Darkseer off lane, support Train Protector, probably the hard support
Yep.
played by Risk, and then Enigma. Probably maybe one or two denies to start things off, but then maybe heading straight into the jungle. They could do some other weird stuff, I suppose, if they feel that if they feel that they can cobble together some really good 1v1 matchups, but I don't know. The Mirana Train Protector Enigma tri-lane doesn't sound too convincing
No.
to me as an aggressive option. So probably just going to be pretty standard lanes from them.
Yeah, and I feel like even just doing a straight up jungle Enigma without denying, I mean, you deny the first creep from away, but I feel like you don't even have to go to a lane from multiple denies like you did last game, because you mentioned Darkseid does fine against this trialing for the most part. Unless he really misplays it, so Enigma can just get super greedy and go straight full jungle mode, rush the Soul Ring, and just farm away.
Yeah, the other thing for immunity as well is they can put the OD mid or they can put the Mirana mid. And putting the OD on the safe lane I don't think would be the worst thing at all because he actually matches up pretty well against the Batrider. And okay, actually
Ooh.
Execration can round things off with the Prophet. So I guess Prophet's off lane, Batrider's mid,
Or do you even
and
put the Prophet
Tri
mid?
lane.
No, it's AA. He's normally the mid player, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, whoever's made out of these two, I think is just gonna get trashed by the OD. So I don't know what the plan is here.
Yeah, I don't think either does particularly well. It's not like you can say, oh well, Batrider does better. Let's put him there. But
They're both int heroes,
yeah,
so hard time.
may see some early roaming coming out from the Sand King Shadow Shaman. Show you your traditional Sand King. Well, not so much traditional, but what we've seen a lot lately from Sand Kings is a lot more time spent in the jungle, stacking, farming with Sandstorm. But we may see a more gank heavy Sand King, especially if you want to go for like you could even go starting item boots if you really want.
Yeah, if they can get some ganks down on the OD, that could be a good option. But again, I just don't know if you want to leave this void alone against the Darkseer, because I think while the supports are away, the Darkseer is really going to take complete control of the lane. And I'd really like to see immunity. Maybe even like they do the sneaky Darkseer immediately buys boots. Right now, the support chucks him a ward and he makes his way down to bot lane as quickly as he can. Doesn't even necessarily need a ward that blocks the camp, though he could. But just knowing where the supports are means that I think he should never die in the lane. And it's so difficult, especially on the Radiant side, to know where the offlaner's ward is, because it could be anywhere, up at the top, scouting at the rune, or it could be all the way down, past the trees. So one sentry ward, and sometimes even two sentries, just doesn't cut it.
Yeah, almost, and better than the Darkseer, you can almost give it to the Mirana with boots, because I feel like Mirana boots first is probably a better option than the Darkseer boots first. Like, your safe lane Mirana can rush phase boots anyways, and your Darkseer probably wants to get more regen / get maybe a soul ring or whatever it may be before his boots. Even a stout shield, not bad.
Yeah, I wonder if he does go for this stout shield here. The only thing he's contending with is like Shadow Shaman harassment, so probably just a faster soul ring overall if he doesn't go for the boots.
We'll see what's going to come out. We're going to see, it looks like Godot just need to reconnect before we got things underway here. Game number 2. Game 1, we saw a 68-minute affair as the Australians came up on top. They're up 1-0, looking to close out the series 2-0, and we'll introduce them. I'm going to steal the Aussies since I can. We've got Balls playing the Mirana. We've got Shaitan playing the Darkseer. We've got Risk, well, not so much he's the captain, but not really the drafter, playing the Treant Protector. We've got Slicks on the OD, and then finally Godot, the drafter for the team, playing the Enigma.
Okay, and over on Execration, playing to stay in the tournament at this point. They're down 0-1. We've got you, or how's it pronounced?
I say Uwe. It's like
okay,
Uwe or Iwe.
Okay. We've got BG01 on the Shadow Shaman. We've got Fox on the Sand King. Boots picked up already for him. AA is going to be over on the Batrider. And to round things off, we have Ninja Boogie on the Faceless Void. And what are they doing with their lanes here? So it looks like off-lane Bat. Prophet also has some boots. So it's just mass boots first for everybody.
What? Uwe's like, this is solo mid Prophet. I guess he's going to rush phase boots incredibly fast here.
Somebody better give him some regen.
Yeah. I guess you can use the boots to just stay as far away as possible from the OD, but still an unusual option.
Yeah, and the OD is just going to probably get boots as his first item anyway, so...
I think I like the Prophet. Oh no, AA goes back mid. He's not going off lane. But yeah, still, where's your clarity? Is your read away? Do you have to buy like Courier or something? Where's his money actually gone? Yeah, boots first on Fox, so he didn't buy Courier or anything. Shadow Shaman has wards, Tango's clarity. Did he buy wards and Courier?
Let's see who the Courier belongs to, right? So yeah, it's the Shadow Shaman's Courier.
Okay, so Prophet's. Where's his money actually gone into?
I don't know. Maybe he messed up. Maybe he bought something and then...
Bought boots, sold boots, and then, like, reboots.
Yeah. Something that people occasionally do is they buy a Bassi and then they toggle it and then they sell it. But as soon as you use an item with an active and then you sell it, you don't get the grace period anymore.
He's just straight up missing gold. I'm not... That's unfortunate, because he's got no clarities for more treants here. He's going to have, after some mana regen, he'll have some more in 30 seconds, but...
Okay, Invis for the Sand King, but I think this should have been spotted. Okay, the Shadow Shaman mysteriously runs in really aggressively, so Slicks is going to back off and just play safe.
Well, Execration. They're not the best start for them. Not getting the gank on the mid lane. The Prophet struggling with his boots first. They toughen up though. They say, look, we'll just play this out. Not doing anything like we've seen by other teams where you try and get a remake out of it. But
yeah, there's probably some other explanation. It might be worth just like checking back on the replay and seeing exactly what happened, because yeah, that's just speculation for me that he sold something outside of the grace period.
Well, it looks like Enigma's going to go straight into the jungle after getting a few denies off. He pulled some regen, it looks like, because he's actually, he's used up 3 of his Tengo, so most of those going to the OD. And he is going to go pretty much straight into the jungle here. Probably look to try to get that fast Soul Ring and catch up as early as possible. Well, not even catch up, but surge ahead as far as farm goes.
Yeah, Enigma is just such a fast jungler, especially with no camps blocked whatsoever. He's looking pretty good. And Execration, things not starting off the best. Ninja Boogie was soloing to start things off down on bottom lane, already getting pressured by the Darkseer. The Shadow Shaman comes down, but the damage has already been done. The Darkseer is already level 3. He's almost got his Soul Ring up, and I think Shaitan is now just a massive threat in this lane. You can't run any pulls anymore to deny experience to him. Otherwise, you're just going to be hurting the Void, chewing through more of his regen. So, I don't know what these supports can accomplish. And they did make their way down here, place this ward just to make sure that Shaitan is safe. So we can actually play up pretty aggressively, make sure that he stays in experience range, and just keep the support attention down here at all times.
When you go boot first on Sanking, you're really not so much expecting, but you're planning on hoping to get some kills using these boots first. But the rotations mid don't work, and now Darkseer having already level 3, about to hit level 4, and level 4 is probably going to be a second point in Surge. Getting any kills here is going to be tricky, even with this boot first build.
Yeah, definitely. And mid lane actually going pretty well for the bat. Slicks is actually playing pretty defensively. And it looks... Okay, so I'm getting the word that the Furion bought wards, apparently. So that's where his gold went.
Okay. Bottom lane, Boogie taking a lot of damage. There is going to be a Firefly actually on Slicks. Slicks should be... Yeah, he's just fine here. Gets through the creep wave, the Treant going to throw a living armor out as well, which gets immediately destroyed. Mostly by the Firefly, it looks like. But either way, no real potential for any sort of a kill there for AA.
And I think AA is playing this nicely. He hammers out the wave, looks like he's going to go and stack things up over in the jungle. Knows that he can't really crush the 1v1 against the OD, so just gets the farm that he can out of the lane and secures his Blink Dagger as quickly as he can over in the jungle. This is a lot like how Mushi plays his Batrider on mid. Like, he doesn't, even in 1v1 matchups that are considered favorable for the Bat, he in general just likes to shove the lane, stack the jungle, and get the blink as fast as possible.
And on these stacks Sanking's doing may just end up becoming the Batrider stack, since he can actually get a fast Blink Dagger, and Sanking's still level 1. He's probably not going to see a blink anytime soon. Is this... Time Walking? I don't think they can... This is going to be a tough kill to get. He's got a Stout Shield. He's going to surge away from the Shadow Shaman, and even if he gets a Shackle there, I don't think they get that kill. They have not got the damage output to kill him.
Yeah, and the Shadow Shaman was so far away as well when they went for that.
They almost need to wait for this. Well, they also need to wait for the surge before you throw the stuns. Like, you can time walk to slow him and start right-clicking, and then as soon as he surges, you want to shackles and stun him up then. But Godot actually rotated towards bottom, so he comes back in, is spotted by this Observer. There's a TP from Uwe. That's a bit of a weird TP. Good looking to go on this Enigma, but this Prophet may just grab die. The Malefice combined with an Iron Shell damage could be enough here, but luckily the Shackles comes in. There's going to be a Burrow Strike in just a second. First blood actually happens mid lane. Meanwhile, Darkseid looking for this Prophet, not going to get him. He survives on 20 HP. Shaitan going to go down for this. 2 kills go Execration's way. Batrider somehow surviving on less than 100 HP. As he gets the first blood on the OD, so it's solo kill for your Batrider. And that was Batrider actually popping a Sandy's Eclipse. I think OD thought he maybe had the kill there on the Bat, but it was not the case.
Yeah, Batrider ends up surviving, so first blood for Execration, they get that kill down bot. And that's a really costly rotation for Greta as well. We were just, you know, extolling the benefits of how quickly the Enigma jungles, but if he's roaming, and roaming unsuccessfully, then that's trouble. That's especially big trouble as far as the expectations that you have for the Enigma's item progression. It's going to be slowed down quite a bit.
Middle tower is under attack.
Living Armor coming out for Godot in the bottom lane. Does help him out with the Soul Ring use, but he's going to stay down bottom for now. Just level 4, but he feels he can at least be of some value to slow down the Void farm. Void has enough money for his Midas recipe. They're going to pop a Moonlight Shadow here.
Right on top of a ward.
Oh,
There's a Radiant lane ward.
Running at Shadow Shaman, and Shadow Shaman may still go down anyway. BG's got nowhere to run. The Iron Shell damage is going to be more than enough. There's a TP in for the Batrider, but the damage has been done. Prof are going to TP down. They're looking for retaliation, and Godot has no way to break the Sprout. Meanwhile, Shaitan, he's got a surge, but there's a lasso waiting for him, and Shaitan immediately gets lassoed to cancel out the surge. The Burrow Strike to follow things up. Shaitan will go down. Enigma now on the run, and Godot, no boots, no problem. He'll get out of there, but Shaitan going to be the casualty. As Batrider Firefly comes on through, he's not going to finish off this camp just now. He's just making his way back towards the mid lane. Almost with a Blink Dagger as well, too.
Yeah, this Batrider is getting pretty scary, and Immunity making some really aggressive moves. I mean, they've made a little bit of space up on top lane for Balls to secure pretty much absolute free farm, and we'll probably see the double Midas build from them again here, just to have a little bit more late game assurance. But well, Execration definitely have the pickoff power, and they've got some nice push as well. So if they get 1 or 2 pickoffs with the Batrider, say maybe a Blink Dagger on the Sand King as well, they can quite easily dump Serpent Wards in a tower and claim some easy map control once
also
we head towards the
interesting,
mid
Batrider swings top. He's rotated out of the mid lane. He should normally you just think you rotate out of the mid lane to go to the jungle and give like one of your supports either Sand King or Shadow Shaman mid, but he's actually gone all the way top. So he can actually steal some stacks here, which is pretty nice farm for him, but probably wants to get back to his own jungle to clear off some of these stacks and catch up on farm himself as soon as possible. But either way, Sand King gets level 3, he can get his second point in Sandstorm, and then Shadow Shaman can take mid lane. Then both supports can actually get decent farm. Sand King in the jungle, Shadow Shaman in the mid lane.
Yeah, it basically is what you said, with the Batrider rotating away to make space for the supports, but the jungle's occupied by the Prophet. The Bat is probably the safest hero for the offlane right now, so he's going to go and take responsibility for that. And he's got his Blink Dagger up right now anyway, so a death isn't even going to be too much of a problem. And I like this a lot from Execration, making sure that the supports that had a hard time against the Darkseer early and after that failed level 1 gank attempt on the OD, that they're going to get their levels. And getting that level 6 up on the Shadow Shaman is going to be so important for them, especially if they're going to start taking these tier 1 towers down.
Sand King will have Blink in no time as well. He's farming the stack that the Batrider left in the big camp. Arrow, ooh, going to hit top lane on AA. They may need a black hole if they want to go for this kill. I'm not sure if they're actually going to go there. Godot mid... What? What a weird black hole. AA takes a lot of damage there. I think that was a double Starstorm, and one more right click is going to be needed. They're not going to get it. Meanwhile, Mirana taking a lot of Firefly damage. Just gets out of it. The Prophet ultimate goes flying on through. Luckily, the Wrath of Nature does not find Balls. He TP's out. Godot caught in the Sprout. 1 or 2 more right clicks will finish him off, and Uwe gets himself a kill. No kill on the Mirana as the Treants come out too late, but the black hole, he PGG's it again. We saw one last game, and he's going to do another one this game, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Dare we blame Ping?
Maybe, but the Batrider's already kind of in a corner. I think that's just...
He got overly ambitious.
Yeah, I think he had to go for it, and he probably got in as close as he possibly could. Chrono bottom lane. It's not taking any damage because of the living armor though, and there's a Moonlight Shadow as well.
He's still full HP.
Dire's top tower is under
living armor, good spell.
He's gonna go on Ninja Boogie, forces a time walk away, and Godot arriving at bottom lane as well. He's got a Malefice, but there's a lane ward, so they'll see Godot now. New sentry being deployed, Godot not really realizing what's happening, and okay. Midas up on your OD now. So there's your first Midas, I believe. Mirana just sitting on 1k gold, actually. So Ball's actually not farming as well as he'd like to be. He's a good 700-800 gold behind the Faceless Void. Void going to go in again at the bottom lane. They want this Darkseer. Living armor's there, but it's already been worn off. They're going to need a bit more lockdown and disables. There's a Surge as well. He's actually going to try to turn this one around with the Wall of Replica there. They'll get the kill on the Nature's Prophet. So it's a 1-for-1 trade for the time being. Going to be a leap forward. The arrow completely off the mark, though. Barely misses, I should say. Balls now. Backs off, and no more kills for him.
I think that's something that you can blame slightly on Ping. Like, Leap Arrow is difficult to start with, and then you add a little bit more latency than you're used to, and things go awry. But well, 1-for-1, I guess the overall exchange. They did get some TPs down bot, so probably still overall a win for Execration. And actually, since they know that the top lane has pretty much been abandoned, they're just going to TP up the Nature's Prophet and look to go for a little bit of a push.
Yep. OD still farming at the mid lane. I think this is where Immunity to say, look, our general strategy still remains the same. Sure, these last few clashes haven't gone well, but we play for the late game. They'll look to farm the mech on Shaitan. Godot doesn't even have to go for mech, so he can go straight into a BKB, straight into but just more greedy items like the Blink Dagger, whatever it may be. And that does give him space to just not have to worry about getting the mech for the team. Meanwhile, Slick's in the mid lane. He's got his Midas. Probably just wants some like mobility, I feel, like something like a 4-star first.
Yeah, I think it's just straight into 4-staff here. There's no reason for him to buy a mech at all.
Prophet, I think, going to go down to the top lane. The Malefice to lead things off here. May need a vacuum as well. Misses the vacuum completely. I think it's just a level 1 vacuum. And the AoE not enough. Chronosphere going to be turned around and Risk going to take a ton of damage. BG actually walks into it accidentally. Risk, though, still going to go down. Doesn't matter. Meanwhile, OD. He's dead at mid lane. What happened here? That's the Sand King Blink coming into play. And they kill off the OD using a Blink Lasso and an Epicenter as well. So they use absolutely everything to kill the OD. But when you're talking about killing an OD, it's worth it to use everything. BG.
Bye-bye.
He's in the wrong neighborhood.
To my ancestors, I return.
They should probably know that the ward is there now as well. Like, what other reason is there for the Shadow Shaman to be in the neighborhood? But, so we're talking about the Midases on immunity, but I think you have to keep in mind as well that this time around Execration are much better positioned to head towards late game. Like, Void's got a Midas, the Prophet's pretty much always going to go for a Midas, and Batrider is actually a pretty scary late game core just by virtue of how fast he farms and having lockdown through BKB. So I think they're much better equipped if immunity just try and drag this game out, and for now they're finding a whole bunch of pickoffs, playing really well, so props to Execration.
Got the treads up on the Void to go with his Midas. He looks to be going for a Battle Fury build, which used to be the go-to build, but I'm not a big fan of the Battle Fury build anymore. I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Battle Fury on Void. He just doesn't it doesn't really turn him into a flash farmer, and honestly, you don't really, most of the time you're not going to get that much value out of it in a Chronosphere. Like, the Midas is definitely nice. There are all kinds of builds that you can go for from there. I think, Mask of Madness is still fine. He probably needs to build up a BKB at some point this game just to be able to deal with the OD's damage if he starts to get scary, but that's much later on. And, could have just gone for, like, the Mask of Madness Maelstrom build, something like that. Some people like Manta style, too, so also an option.
Immunity poised at the top lane. Look to maybe go for an engagement. This level 1 vacuum, though, is really working against them. They can't really use it to set up too big of a team fight. Execration smoked up behind the tier 1. They've got the Lasso back online. They've got Chronosphere as well, so Void can TP in and come to this fight should it break out. I'm actually surprised that I don't think Immunity really want to try and take fights whatsoever. I think they just want... The Mirana still doesn't even have Midas. Like, you've got the Midas recipe, but no actual Midas online yet. And this is 14 minutes in the game, so this Midas will not be up before 15 minutes, it looks like.
Yeah, this is pretty much a catch-up Midas, I suppose, at this point for balls. The other thing about the Battle Fury on Void, you're really underwhelming as far as finding solo kills with Chronosphere, and that's a really important aspect. Oh, Epicenter plus the Lasso. Bye-bye, Godot.
Execration is happy to use multiple ultis for solo kills right now, because they know one hero on the sidelines likely leads to a tier 1 tower, because they've got such a farm advantage right now. This will give them this tier 1 top tower, I believe, and Immunity, sure there's no Epicenter, sure there's no Lasso. They're just not really ready to defend or fight. OD doesn't really offer much. He's got a level 2 ulti, but he's got no items to go with this. No 4-star. Nothing on top of the Midas, just the 1800 gold. He'll have the 4-star soon if he goes that build, but he doesn't have it just yet. And with Chronosphere online, that's all you need in terms of ultis to actually take a fight for Execration.
Yeah, and Immunity, their support pairing just can't really do a whole lot for them at the moment. Like, the Treant's not going to roam and find ganks and find pickoffs. And I think the Treant Protector this game is honestly just a little bit underwhelming. So much of the strength of the hero is tied up in his ability to just hold on to towers forever, but in this game, I feel that the living armor is completely inconsequential as far as hanging onto these towers is concerned. And for turning around ganks, we're talking about some pretty, well, some reasonable damage over time for Execration, especially with the Firefly. So, yeah, I don't know about this Train Protector pickup.
Yeah. Well, the minuses are both up now, with Mirana getting the 15-minute minus. Balls is actually, like, it's surprising it's a 15-minute minus, because he has not died the entire game. He's got 75 CS, which is up there with only 10 CS behind the Void, but it's just the phase boot plus Ring of Aquila just, I guess, slowing down the item pickup a a bit. Not to mention, I guess 75 CS at 16 minutes isn't insanely free farming, but...
That, and they went on the bat, they didn't get the kill. He had the TP all the way back to base after that one. And then he TP'd bot that one time. Yeah, TP'd bot that one time, left arrow, didn't really get anything out there. So there's the TP gold, and that TP gold never really got repaid by kills or any action.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, there was also that TP where you had the TP back to base and then walk all the way back out to the lane. So I think that's that and the combination of going for FaZe and Aquila have sort of put the Midas timing where it is.
We'll see if Immunity can use this newly port Blink Dagger on Enigma and try and take some fights. So Godot's ready with a black hole, but the problem is there's so many heroes with lockdown on the Radiant side that finding any of these will not be all too easy. Moonlight Shadow is being used. Arrow going to start things off, flying in over the trees, but catches a tree and not the best line there. Risk is looking for an overgrowth. He's going to throw it here just on the Faceless Void, but the Chronosphere catches everyone, including Godot on the Enigma. It didn't get the OD, and he actually does a lot of damage to Ninja Boogie. They're actually forcing Execration on the backboard. Uwe TP's in the middle of things. Lasso goes out with the slicks. He's going to drag him back into the Serpent Ward. A lot of damage being output here. There's your epicenter. The blink from the Sankey. He's brought down one. He'll make it two. Darks are an OD on the sideline. Treant's going to be the third hero to fall, and the chase is now on. Blink forward. They want balls. He's low. Doesn't have a leap, but AA thinking twice about this one. He's going to blink as all the fall stuff in a few seconds. He's not going to be able to catch up to him, and big Chronosphere coming out from Execration there. Working out just well enough for them. It was a close team fight, but in the end, Execration get a 3-0 trade.
Yeah, Immunity don't have any stuns, so they ran in, they overgrowth the void. Yeah, and then he got a perfect chrono, caught 3, Slicks walked into it at the very end. And that was supposed to be, I think, you know, on paper that's supposed to be a pretty good fight for Immunity to take, but ends up being a little bit of a disaster, and things are not looking good for them.
It was a good fight until the epicenter came in. Well, not even a good fight, but like an even fight. Then that epicenter came in and really, that's what finished off the OD. Because OD got lassoed into the Serpent Wards and was going to be okay after the mech was used from the Darkseer, but then the epicenter came and just finished off Immunity.
Yeah, and they've lost all of their tier 1s at this point, so farming space is already starting to feel a little bit restricted. They feel like they need to 5-man a bit as well, just because Batrider pickoffs are getting scarier and scarier. So they make their way down bot, but they're pressuring a tier 1 and they're losing a tier 2. This Nature's Prophet's doing work.
And I don't even know if they're getting this tier 1. The Batrider Firefly drags the creeps off the tower. The damage output just isn't there. They're gonna use a glyph, but this is a tier 2 tower dead at top, and they're not even getting the trade at bottom. I think they almost have to back off here, because I think if Execration come on in, they've got Lasso, they've got Chronosphere. Immunity do have vision behind the tower with this Observer Ward, and they are going to drag the creep using the Eidolon, but this is still very risky stuff. And I think Execration just decided, look, let's not risk it, let's just go for the 2 towers. Let's get the tier 2 mid as well. Not just a tier 2 top, a tier 2 mid for a tier 1. And this tier 1, it's still a lot.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, Immunity, I think the other thing as well, their draft has so little, though. Actually, they catch out the Nature's Prophets. Looks like maybe a kill for them here. Leaping from balls. Storm, yeah.
Right click. That was just a bit of a misplay there from the Nature's Prophet. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Batrider's looking for any sort of a pick-off, but they haven't got detection for risk. It's in lane, so if he walks any closer, they will fire up. What's this Shadow Shaman doing? He's in no man's land. He was on a warding mission, it looks like. He just popped down this ward above the secret shop, and now Risk is on the run. I think this Batrider's going to realize, hey, I need a gem. He's bought Boots of Travel, but I think Gem's going to be his next big major pickup.
Yeah, I think definitely a strong option. And wow, so Immunity, let's sum up what just happened. They didn't get the tier 1 tower, and they lost 2 tier 2s. That was just, I think that's not even fair to call that a trade. No. Things are looking pretty bad. And so much of their lineup is based around team fighting as well. Like, the only hero that they have is good in, say, that's good in like 2v2 or little skirmishes is the Mirana. You know, I almost want to say that they don't really have roaming heroes or heroes that can really make all that many plays in the smaller scale engagements, and that's coming back to hurt them when they're this far behind, because their only recourse is to kind of group up and hope that they can get that perfect big AoE team fight going.
And the problem is, Execration have a great lineup for avoiding those team fights. Nature's Prophet can split push. Batrider is pretty good for split pushing too, with Blink, 4-Stuff, and Boots of Travel. Even a Sanking with Blink, 4-Stuff. This guy's pretty hard to lock down and catch. So the potential to push out all 3 lanes and just force Immunity to constantly TP back and not move out on the map is really, it's going to be really annoying, and Execration can just play around with immunity. There's a gem now as well, so immunity's map vision is going to get completely denied as well.
Yeah, and Execration's warding is so good. I mean, we've seen the Rasta off on a couple of these suicide missions. Oh, Risk gets chronoed. There's help on the way though. Arrow connect.
It's doing a lot of damage here. Surfboard's actually going to completely surround Goda. It looks like there is going to be an OD ultimate. That's finished off the Void, and now with a vacuum. Goda getting low, but brought down just before the Shadow Shaman takes his kill. 2 for 2 trades so far. Sprout goes in on the Darkseid, but the chase is on. This is the first decent looking team fight for Immunity. There's a lasso on the OD, but without the Firefly, not that much damage here, but here the Necro 3 doing a lot of damage on the OD. OD on the run. He's got a prison here. He's going to just TP his way out of there. No TP for you, says the Batrider. He gets the last right click that's needed, and Darks are going to go down. The Serpent Ward's cutting off his retreat. It's a team wipe for Execration, and what looked like an as good as it gets kind of fight for Immunity, and they still get team wipe and only kill 2.
Under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
They're
tower
just getting nothing right now. And
denied.
Execration, like that Necrobook 3 doing serious work there, the damage output from that. Like, you may start off the team fight well and take out a Void, but it's not just the Void doing damage right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Prophet TP'd back to go and deny that tower. I feel like he could have just stuck around and finished off the tier 2, but it's probably not going to end up being a big deal.
Yeah, even if they don't get the tier 2 tower, it's still a big team fight victory, and, well, Execration down a game in this best of 3, looking to take it to a game 3 decider here.
Yeah, Immunity probably still gonna hang on, still hoping, you know, once they get those extra points up in the vacuum, there's always the chance of that huge Wombo team fight and maybe starting to turn the game around a little bit. And you know, they've got reasonable late game as well. OD is a very scary late game core, but Mirana getting dragged. Yeah, eyeballs.
Bat just goes chasing after Mirana. You can leap away, but Batrider 4-stars after. Prophet TP's in. They use the Wrath of Nature. Don't even need the Necro book there. Pretty straightforward stuff. And AA, he's out of mana, but he finds a regen rune, so it's his lucky day. The Mask of Madness, the Bone 7 build coming into play now as well. This Batrider's all over the map now. He's got such great movement speed. Prophet can TP anywhere. Danking's getting pretty farmed as well. Hits level 11 with his Arcane Boots, Blink Dagger 4-star.
Yeah, the Batriders played really well this game. The supports, despite a pretty rough start after missing that first blood and whatnot, all the tower gold has just caught them straight back up, and Immunity looking a little bit lost. The warding continues to keep them pinned inside their base, and I don't know what they can do at this point. Like, aside from hope from the team.
We haven't even really seen the Faceless Void yet. It feels like from this game, unlike last game where the Void was like your key initiator, this game the Void's just the insurance policy. He's there in case this game happens to go late game on even footing. That's where the Void says, hey look, I'm a 6-slotted Void, Midas, Battle Fury, BKB, goes into a Butterfly, Daedalus, whatever it may be. And he says, Immunity, you guys aren't winning the late game because I'm a Void. But he hasn't even had to do anything yet, and Immunity are getting crushed. Now we're going to see another pickoff. This is just a screen protector, but either way, pickoff's a pickoff, and it's Execration just in cruise control right now.
Yeah, it was a pretty awkward time walk, but Force Staff is gonna get him out of there, and he's gonna be fine. Meanwhile, Immunity were going for a smoke, hoping that the Prophet was gonna come split push top.
He will.
It looks like they're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
they
so
haven't scouted him just yet, but if they wait around, they're TPing home. Oh, if they just waited that little bit longer, they may have gotten a kill and then been able to TP back. But they got to defend high ground. Blink in, Chronosphere gonna catch up too. Enigma's there with the Malefice, pops the BKB a little bit late. There's an empty center to pull things up, but Slip's going to keep himself alive with that nice 4-star. There's your wall as well. Stanky getting caught out, taking a lot of damage, goes onto the low ground with a 4-star. No one actually hitting the deck just yet. Mirana actually going to leap forward, very ambitious from balls. Prophet's actually top lane. Prophet's backdooring, not really doing that much damage to the tower here. It's going to be DG going down to the OD, so Immunity, they hold the high ground for the time being. Very strong hold. They didn't really have to use too much there. Meanwhile, Execration using Epicenter and Chronosphere and just not doing enough damage.
Yeah, I feel like Ninja Boogie saw an opportunity there, but didn't really communicate it to the rest of his team. Like, everybody kind of scrabbled to respond to the two-man Chrono.
I think it also shows the limitation of his item build there, because he had a good Chronosphere, but his like actual damage output was just Battle Fury BK. If he had a like Mask of Madness Maelstrom with the BKB, I feel like he'd be doing a lot more damage.
Yeah, his DPS at the moment is a little bit underwhelming. But the idea behind the Battle Fury is that he gets that next big damage item up pretty quickly. And like you said, probably going to be the Daedalus or a B-Fly up next for him. And they still have the Aegis up as well. So while it was an aggressive move, the only real loss was the life of the Shadow Shaman, which not a huge deal.
Alrighty, well, we got Shaitan now working towards a pipe to go with his mech, so all about the teamfight's immunity, and like they're behind. I want to say like 10, 15, yeah, 15k plus gold, but you give this OD a hex, and this late game is still not really in the bag. I gotta say, this OD is going to become the big difference maker as far as his damage output's concerned. So, I think Execration still have to be careful about making sure they get the next Roshan and be very... Well, sorry, they've still got Aegis. Actually, what am I talking about next Roshan? They've still got Aegis. So
yeah.
I feel like even with this Aegis right now, they need to be looking to chip away at the high ground. At the same time, you can't chip away into Korean. You've got to go fully commit and get the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of making sure that they have all 4 heroes moving up on the same page at the same time. Prophet provides a little bit of a distraction on one of the side lanes. And then they, like you said, just start chipping away at it a little bit. The one thing that's worth mentioning is while the OD is really scary, he does nothing against long duration BKBs. So there's still almost a couple of fights where the advantage for the OD is that the Void uses a BKB charge and he can get a little bit more relevant as a result. But yeah, they have a chance of winning this late game, at least as far as hero composition is concerned. But with Execration already knocking at their door, things are pretty scary.
Execration need to get this tower here. They're going to drop the wards here. Odie gets grabbed by the lasso. Darkseid needs to go big with this vacuum wall. He's going to go huge. Chronosphere comes too late. The black hole from Godot catches everyone. The Sanking is too late with the Burrow Strike. The damage has been done. They lose the Shadow Shaman. Godot taking a lot of damage. He will go down the server towards the Overgrowth. Maybe a bit too late from Riz. They're still taking a lot of damage. Ninja Boogie gets arrowed. Disruption being used by the OD and the Astral Imprisonment. Slick's now in trouble. It doesn't have a 4-star. Taking a lot of damage here, and he's going to go down. The tier 3 tower's still alive and kicking. The AoE combos land perfectly for immunity, but at the end of the day, all they get is the Shadow Shaman. The Aegis not even proc from Ninja Boogie. They'll get the tier 3 tower. It looks like they may get Raptors as well. Overgrowth coming out on the tower. That'll heal it up a little bit with the glyph, but quickly worn away. Arrow going to land on Ninja Boogie. It looks like Shaitan wants to follow this up. There's going to be a vacuum Starstorm. Gets backtracked here, and Ninja Boogie's still alive. Still has the Aegis in his hand. Batrider, the fight's gone on so long, he's got another lasso. Ooh, doesn't use it. Bit of a, I think, misclick there, maybe coming out. Epicenter from Fox, but he gets scouted out. The blink, the Burrow Strike goes through. Shaitan in trouble. Now there's your lasso. Arrow gonna hit Fox as well. Ninja Boogie's still alive. He's gonna right click down Shaitan. Darkseid hits the deck. In comes your with a blink stun. Aegis gonna proc on the Faceless Void, and it looks like immunity in all sorts of trouble. 4 heroes on the sidelines. Godot the only one left standing, and it's gonna be Raxus in the mid lane exposed. Morana with the buyback now. Prophet picking up a Maelstrom, giving him some extra damage output here. They're getting to work on these Raxus now. Morana buys back. OD respawns, and well, there's Chronosphere though, with a BKB. No chance for an arrow as the Koreans come in, and the Chronosphere are going to be used. It looks like they want to try to finish off Slicks. He needs to pop the BKB, gets rid of the Maleficent now. Slick's taking a lot of damage. 4 staff away, and Paul's going to be the one to go down instead. With the Necrobooks up, this will be mid-Raptors and possibly putting immunity really with their back against the wall now. Serpent Ward's getting dropped just to ensure the range track goes down as well. With the Serpent Ward's on the ground, I think Execration just get out of here. They can reset, wait for the next Serpent Wards, wait for the next Roshan if they really want to play it safe. Because they've now gotten Raxus 30 minutes in the game, whole lot of trouble all of a sudden.
Top tower is under attack.
And Immunity were just completely caught off guard by that Chronosphere. They walked in, they were harassing the Void, trying to see if they could get him off the melee barracks, then he popped out of the imprisonment and just straight up chronoed too.
I don't think they expect it to be up so soon, is my main guess?
It was a very prolonged fight. I mean, back and forth. Void considered backing out, not popping the Aegis. So
Prophet
ended up
dagger.
working it pretty well. Yeah.
Double damage.
Going true rat.
Yeah, this is well and truly rat from him. But you're up a lane of Rax. It's definitely something that you can just look to do. The Prophet by himself can pretty much keep everybody on immunity occupied, and that means that the Void has so much space on the map to just continue to pick up items. And he's got an Aghanim Scepter now. Honestly, I feel like he should have gone for a damage item.
He's the carry, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. He just doesn't kill anyone in Chrono, is the thing. Like, it lasts a really long time, and they have a little bit of right-click coming in from the Prophet, but I feel like he he could have shuffled things around a little bit, maybe gone
as
for
much
the
as that
Ags
Chrono
afterwards.
caught immunity by surprise, he couldn't even kill the OD. And not like this OD's that tanky. 1500 HP, there is a mech from an Enigma, he does have 11 armor, but in theory, at this stage of the game, a Void should be able to kill the OD. Speaking of killing the OD, Batrider goes in with, he's got it for a Shadow Blade, he blinks forward, gonna catch up Slicks now as well. Have to commit a lot to this one, but they'll bring him down, and Slicks now hits the deck, and that's OD, he does have a buyback, and he's gonna probably have to use that buyback to defend this bottom lane. Here comes your Shadow Shaman, Serpent Ward's ready to go. 800 gold short of his Aghanim Scepter, unfortunately, but even without this, I think they're going to look for this tier 3 tower and possibly even bottom Raxes.
Oh, Sand King.
Dire's bottom
He's
tower
been
is
spotted,
under
I think,
attack.
by the Treant Protector.
He goes in with a stun on the Treant Protector. Fox going to try to find a new spot. The Serpent Ward's get dropped. Chronosphere going out as well. Now, Enigma pops a BKB, but there's no chance for a Black Hole. He's got Blink back up now. OD buys back Blink. Hole onto 3. It's pretty big. They need more damage. Where's the OD? Sanity comes from absolutely nothing. That just burns some of this hero's mana. Enigma now going to go down, and it's GG. There's nothing left for immunity. Epicenter just coming in for good measure, and that's it. Immunity tap out, and we're going to a game 3.
Dire's bottom barracks. Radiant victory.
They had no plays left to make in their draft. It feels like they got that one very well executed 4-man hole, you know, all the damage that they pretty much had, but the sum total of their damage turned out to be, well, a little bit of a light tickle to Execration. So we'll see. They aimed a little bit more towards the late game, you know, the aspect that worked really well for them in the previous match, but this time around I think Execration were much better equipped, and a little bit of pick off from the Batrider and the Serpent Wards meant that it was just pick off tower, pick off tower, pick off tower all game long.
And the ganks you talked about, especially from the Mirana, the one here actually does have some mid-game gank potential, just didn't work. Like the TP bottom, missing the stuff like that leap arrow there. It seems like one small mistake which isn't going to decide a game, but those are the kind of kills which I felt Immunity had to get to stay in this game.
Yeah, so we're going to be, it's all down to the wire. Game 3 coming up.
Yeah, game 3 coming up. We'll see if it's going to be the Australian Team Immunity or if it's going to be the Filipino Team Execration going on to the group stage. The winner of this match will join Group B, which will be joining Orange Esports as well as Scythe Singapore, and then the winner of MVP Phoenix versus Mineski. So potential for 2 Pinoy teams in this group if Execration can take it as well as Mineski. But right now, we'll see what the Aussies have to say. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more action from the Inaugural coming your way. So stay tuned, guys.